Hey everyone, I was originally planning to release the next part of the Pokemon Tri-Fusion this week, but with E3 on the way, I thought it would be fun to try and provide my own coverage. And what better way to start than providing my own hopes and speculations? Not going to be super in-depth or anything, I'm not going to be talking about leaks or rumors. This will be a mix of pure speculation and things the publishers and developers have already teased themselves. For the sake of convenience, let's go in order based on the 2018 E3 schedule. Starting with EA. Yeah, you guys would probably think that I'd just scoff at this and move on, didn't you? But unusually, this is the one time I'm actually interested in an EA press conference. This is for a number of reasons. It's the 10th anniversary of the Dead Space franchise, and while Visceral Games may have been shut down, I'm very much hoping that EA will do something with the franchise. Hopefully not a new entry. Without Visceral's team behind it, I'm not confident it would result in a good product, but at the very least, I'd like them to release an HD collection featuring Dead Space 1, 2, 3, and the prequel Extraction, along with all of the DLC chapters. Though this is EA, so chances are that won't happen. Or they'll cut and resell the DLC that they already released like they did with the Mass Effect trilogy. The other reason is Anthem. While the Mass Effect franchise did suffer from the rather subpar Mass Effect Andromeda, I imagine that the main development focus has been put on Anthem. While I'm not overly fond of the mic trick used in the initial reveal of Anthem, I must admit that there's a lot of appeal in customizable power armor, and basically being Iron Man in space. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for this game, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned that EA might fuck it up by loading the game with loot boxes and microtransactions, especially following the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco. All in all, of the third-party publishers, EA probably has my attention more than anyone else. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is left to be seen. Chances are the sports section will still bore the shit out of me, though. And on the subject of publishers, let's talk about some of the first-party ones. First, we've got Microsoft, which... I don't care. I'd be hard-pressed to find anything they could announce that would excite me. Bethesda's not much better either. Sure, they've got a lot of popular game franchises, but outside of the games developed by Arcane Studios, most of their games lack polish. I was kinda hoping that the Fallout game they had been teasing for days would end up being another Obsidian entry like New Vegas, but it's looking like my hope was misplaced. Only time will tell how Fallout 76 will turn out, though. Squeenix, on the other hand, I'm actually somewhat interested in what they have to offer. Admittedly, the only game of theirs that has my attention is Kingdom Hearts 3, which I was going to get regardless. So, outside of that, I can only hope that we'll get to see more of Final Fantasy VII's remake. I never played the original myself, so the prospect of playing the remake does appeal to me. In the Ubisoft camp, I'm pretty much only interested in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've had a bit of a falling out with the Assassin's Creed games in the past following the cynical and soulless cash grabs that were the Assassin's Creed Chronicles series, which admittedly had pretty nice art, but were lacking in any real substance in the gameplay department. The last main series Assassin's Creed game I saw to the end was Assassin's Creed Rogue, which I liked quite a lot. I do need to make a point of revisiting the series at some point now that I've cooled off from my anger towards them, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey seems like as good a place as any for me to start. Not going to lie, the prospect of exploring ancient Greece gives me a great big architectural stiffy. Now, Sony is probably the publisher I'm most concerned about. They can generally be relied upon to put out quality games, but they've fallen into a bit of a trend lately where they try to make all of their games into cinematic, emotional storytelling experiences. And while I do enjoy those types of games from time to time, it's starting to get really ham-fisted. Say what you will about the new God of War, but I, for one, was severely disappointed that the only noteworthy Western-developed character action game was changed to yet another over-the-shoulder, emotionally driven narrative. I wouldn't have minded so much had they simply changed protagonists along with the setting, but it's whatever. Point is, we got Last of Us 2 on the horizon, and Days Gone, which is so forgettable I actually had to Google Sony zombie game while writing this to remember what it was called. The last real interesting Sony exclusive that I can recall caring about was Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'd really like to see Sony bring something new and interesting like that to the table again. Oh, and Capcom will probably be announcing something Monster Hunter World related during the Sony conference, so that has me pretty damn hyped. Nintendo is probably the easiest publisher to talk about. I've got no real concerns. They've done a fine job of keeping a steady stream of new games coming to the Switch since it launched last March, and show no signs of stopping. At worst, we can expect to hear about games we already are aware of, like Metroid Prime 4, Fire Emblem Switch, and Smash Bros., which is admittedly pretty fucking amazing as far as low bars go. If I had to hope for anything in particular, I'd say I'd want to see some new IPs. Something new and interesting that no one is expecting. And if anyone can pull off such a thing, I'm pretty sure it's Nintendo. For something more specific and less exciting, I low-key hope they announce a HD remaster collection of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on Switch using the 3DS versions as a base. If not, preferably some Switch ports of Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and maybe Skyward Sword if we're lucky. Oh, and a Metroid Prime trilogy on Switch would be nice given the upcoming release of Metroid Prime 4. Gotta get more people into the series. And I've not much more to add beyond that, really. Anyway, that's all I've got in terms of speculation, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great night. I hope this video lit a fire under you.